Okay. Okay.
And,
God bless you, brother.
This is my wife, actually, Tawanda, right next to me.
Her name is?
Tawanda.
How you spell that?
Tawanda.
Well, she is Towana, Tawana.
Okay.
That's my wife.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so go ahead, brother.
And I was thinking that the Bible says you are to love your wife as you love the church.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a true marriage, when you're really in love and you really have a good marriage, it's like a little taste of heaven.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not necessarily you pass and you're in heaven, but it gives you just a little taste of what that is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's what I want to say. So.
Because you find that the relationship God often speaks
joy
about.
and the love and the happiness. You know.
That relationship is, see, love is of God. And when you have love, you have God. And all of that taste of heaven is wrapped up in love. And when two people really love each other, see, the key is loving God and then loving each other as you do yourself. And Elder Mark had given this illustration some years ago that marriage is like a triangle. You on each side and God at the top. The closer you get to God, the closer you will become. And so you strive to get close to God. And as you're moving up to get close to God, it's only natural that the two of you, because that triangle, you on this side and the other on that side, and they're moving up to get closer to God, it's only natural that you become what? Closer to each other. Someone else.
When people get married, a part of loving each other is to respect each other. If, in the very first place, if I did not respect my husband, then we could not grow together, as well as him respecting me. But respect you have to earn, which we taught our children to earn respect. Some people say if you marry, sometimes people don't make it because they marry young. I married at 20. And I've been married 36 years. And I feel that in some of that time, say from the last 15 years or so, it's been like a whirlwind. It doesn't feel like I've been married 36 years. So actually, I have been longer than I was myself.
Right. Yeah.
So we are just, and it's hard in marriages when you not necessarily have to be, my thinking is not always his thinking, but we know that we can talk and read the Bible and we can discuss, which once you do that, it'll bring you that answer back. The answer will come back to God, and so we can make it because of that. Or God is important in our lives, has always been, because we were of God separately, so it made it easier to become one in a marriage. It's, I don't feel that, and I think a lot has to do with personality. I think I'm mild-mannered, and my husband is mild-mannered. So we disagree. We never do a loud shouting match. My mother. In my case, a lot about my knowing about marriage came from my mother. My parents were married 55 years. So my mother talked to me and my sister and told us things. So when we went into marriage, as well as our counseling, we did counseling before marriage, but my mother talked to us. And actually, she led by example.
Right.
So we basically, and people sometimes say, you're just like your mother, which is a very good thing for me.
Right.
It's a good thing. It's okay to be like your mother. It's good to be like your mother.
If your mother is good.
If she's good. If she's good. Yeah. Well,
If she's good. Yeah.
It's good. But we did okay in raising our children because I had support with my mother and my father seeing their marriage. They helped us with our children. I didn't know either set of my grandparents, but my children knew both. Well, they knew my parents. But as we taught our children, someone said to me, never holler at each other except the house is on fire. That's the only reason that you should holler at each other.
That's good advice.
We have never, and I don't think consciously we didn't do it because it wasn't a fight, but that was the way we were.
Right.
That's just one of the things I want to say. I know other things will come.
All right. If you turn your attention to the book of Titus, the 2nd chapter. The Apostle Paul had given Titus some specifics. And as Sister Bell was speaking here concerning, she learned from her mother. Paul had given Titus the specifics on giving instruction and sound doctrine. It is essential. Speaking the things which become sound doctrine, the first says. The second says that the aged men be sober, grave, temperate, sound in faith and charity and patient. The aged women likewise, that they be in behavior as becometh what? Holiness, not false accusers, not given to much wine, teachers of good things. And when a mother takes the initiative, this goes back to what we were saying earlier about how that it is important when it comes down to God placing a lot of emphasis on the virtuous woman. Solomon spoke about this virtuous woman and how that her price is far above rubies. She will teach good things. And this is what Paul was telling Titus, sound doctrine, that the aged women be teachers of good things. And so this is why today you are thankful for your mother. You're thankful for your upbringing. It's the same thing being with, in my upbringing of mom and dad and teaching us the ways that were pleasing in the sight of God. Mom she definitely did what God said to do. When you went to school and you came back, she would download you, reprogram you, and send you back to school. She was doing that in that day, and computers wasn't even talked about. What did you learn? What did you go through? What did you see? What did you experience? She would download you. Then she would make the correction, delete whatever was not supposed to be, and send you back out the door with a greater perspective. Well, this is what you watch out for. This is what you be careful for. A teacher of good things. That's great. That's great. Someone else. What is marriage to you? It's a what? Bond. It's a bond between a man, watch this now, and a woman. Not two men, not two women, but a bond between a man and a woman. All right? Anything else to that, Digno?
Being faithful and your dealings with one another.
That's an interesting point. Faithful how long?
Till death do us part.
There it is. So as you have begun, you build on that.